November 29, 2012, I did get to see Justin for his Believe tour at MSG once again. You can see my family and I really love that place. I went with my grandma because she was officially added to the fandom. She's now a Belieber ever since that album, Believe. Um, it is very special to me too, and I'll show you why. Um, we got lower level, like 100s, kind of where Christian was sitting for the Never Say Never, but on the opposite side. And we were very happy with our purchase. We did it from eBay, which is kind of weird. Um, that kind of site, um, StubHub, Vivid Seats, scalpers, you have to be careful with because they can be fake tickets and you spend all that money, you go down and you can't even go into the arena, which is a major letdown. So always be cautious. It's worth a shot sometimes, but for us, it was worth every penny, even though it was kind of expensive. Um, my mom and my grandma were actually buying merch, and I couldn't help but go see the seats. So my dad took me down, and I remember tears were filling in my eyes as we walked step by step downward. We were almost on the floor, that's how close our seats were to the stage. I'll post a picture of the view and clips and pictures after this. And this is actually what my mom and my grandma were getting for me. I know it'll be backwards, and I'm sorry, but it's a necklace and it says Believe. This album is very special to me and my grandma. The motto just helped me get through high school. It helps me just deal with everyday life problems and, you know, my dreams, like becoming a YouTuber. I know I'm not that good and my videos aren't that, you know, crazy, but, just I love singing and dancing, and maybe one day I can be doing what Justin does and I can be an inspiration to others. I would love that. It's a lot of responsibility, but I would take it on. So it's just very moving, and that's why this tour and these seats were just that important to me and my grandma especially. When we were waiting for the show to start, I remember me and my grandma talking, and we both were looking at the floor because we were that like close, and we saw like just how everyone was having like the time of their life down there, even though the show wasn't started. Um, and we're both like, you know what? Next time, that's gonna be us. We didn't know how, we didn't know when, but we knew it was going to happen. And I can officially say now, July 18th, that dream has been reached. I never thought it would be this soon. Who knew if it would even happen at all? But we were very determined and very lucky, and it was just our time to be close to Justin. And I believe everyone will have that time, whether it already happened or in the future. If you just stay positive and keep wishing, dreams really do come true. Um, I'm a strong believer, I said. I'm a strong believer of that. I'm so caught up in this video, I'm sorry. Um, and I believe anything can happen. As you can see, I can go on and on with my Bieber experiences because they're all so different, but they just make my journey that much more unique. I only have 2 more though, so if you can stick around, I would appreciate that, and the stories just get better and better. If any of you have seen the Believe tour, you know that it was just mind-boggling. That's how great it was. So, of course, that gave me and my grandma another reason to go see it again. We actually saw it August 2nd, 2013, so a year from the last concert. This time, we did manage to get floor seats, not the way we were looking to, like in 13 days, being in the pit. There was a little downfall with these seats, and I will explain that. The concert was at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and the drive was horrendous. I do not recommend going in the heart of the city in a vehicle or by any way, and that means it was just long. Traffic was crazy. It was kind of just like buying these tickets, actually. The experience was very overwhelming, but worth it in the end, of course. We didn't do it through scalpers, too. We actually did it from Ticketmaster, but we had a bid, which I've never done before for tickets. So that was an experience in itself. Me and my grandma were the highest bidder for row 6, seats 3 and 4, which we thought were very good seats. Low numbers, I was thinking right by the catwalk. Well, yeah, I was wrong. We found out that we did actually win, which is amazing. The day after Christmas, I wanted to be with my grandma when I found the news, so I made my dad drive in a snowstorm to her house. I didn't hear the end of that. My parents were so upset with this whole spending money, driving in the snow. It's just very stressful, so, I mean, they were happy when it actually came around, but at the time, everyone was against me, except my grandma, of course. And when we got the tickets, the email, it made it seem like our seats were by ourselves, so then we were worried, like, what if we're not sitting together? It was just, I don't recommend bidding for tickets. But yeah, I wrote about it actually for my English assignment senior year. I would put it in this video, but I can only have it for like 2 seconds, and you wouldn't be able to read it. It was very small and clumped together, so I'm just kind of explaining what I wrote in it. But basically, yeah, I thought I was arm's reach from my dream. You know, I thought I was at the catwalk, and if I reached my hand up, I would touch Justin's hand, but actually, we were on the opposite end, so our hearts were crushed when we walked down to that floor, and people were lined up in our row exactly where we thought we were going to be. But as soon as he came down through those wings, my heart was just melting, and seeing him that close, like this is the closest at that time that we've ever seen him, we were just like hypnotized by the show. We saw it come to life in a different way. So I do recommend floor seating 101%. It's the best. So I'm that much more excited to see how pit is, because being in the pit, you're actually in the stage. Like, nothing's better than that. So I'll tell you all about that after the show, of course. So here are some pictures and clips from this show. I hope you also enjoy, and I'm sorry for the quality once again. It was from my phone, and I had to record it because it wasn't actually on this phone that I have. So it's just a little blurry, but you get the idea, and I hope it makes this video come to life.
You ready?
for the last time I saw Justin Bieber. It was actually quite recent. It was this year, my first year of college. Um, and here it goes. Keep in mind, this was a total surprise, too. It felt like it was a dream, but it definitely made my first semester of college a little better. It was 2 weeks in, I was only there. I actually lived on campus the first semester to give it a try because everyone told me to. They said I would enjoy it, but they don't realize how much of a homebody I am. I love my parents, I'm very close to them, I'm an only child, so all of this was very hard for me, even though I was dorming with my best friend at the time now, Cassandra. So if you're watching this, I know you should be. Hi. Yeah, she helped me get through it a lot, but it still wasn't the same just being at home. So it was just very stressful, and this news definitely made everything all better. It felt like a regular day for me and Cassandra. We were at the dining hall in one of the campus buildings. We were just eating lunch, and she shows me this post on Instagram. Of course, the Today Show was giving clues that Justin was going to make an appearance, and Cassandra made a comment like, we should go, or something, or you should go. And I was like, I just laughed. I was like, yeah, right. We just started college. My mom wants me to focus on school. She'd never let me go. It costs, even though it's free, it's still expense for the train, or if we drove down there, if we got food or whatnot, it still costs money. Nothing's ever free. So I knew I'd get that whole spiel. So I just wanted to not even deal with it, if that makes sense. I was just like, I know I can't go. I accepted it, and I was just moving on with my day. We ended up changing the subject because clearly it wasn't getting anywhere, and we finished eating, and then Cassandra was off to class, and I was back to the dorm to unwind because I was a nursing student at the time. I'm no longer, but that's a totally different story, which I could vlog about that if you really desire. But anyways, yeah, when I was in the dorm just hanging out, enjoying free time, my mom texted me, and it's weird because I just mentioned her at lunch, so her ears must have been ringing, and she was asking my schedule for tomorrow. So I did copy down my schedule, but I guess I never sent it to her. My bad. And I let her know what my classes looked like, and maybe she was gonna surprise me, maybe she was gonna let me come home. All these things were running through my head. And then she asked if she can call me. So I was a little worried, but of course, I would love to talk, so I said yes. And when she did call me, I could tell something was up. Her voice just didn't sound right. And the first thing she says to me is, before I tell you this, please sit down. So I'm thinking, what happened? Like, is everyone okay? I was freaking out, but I listened and I sat, and I got the news of any girl's dream, and here it is. Turns out my mom's coworker always wins tickets on the radio. She has the best of luck, and she scored 2 VIP passes to the Today Show to see the one and only Justin Bieber. I was so happy. First of all, no one was hurt, and now my mom was allowing me to go to this. I was homesick, and now I'm getting to see my idol and get to be with my family, and I get to go home. Like, my heart was just so happy that day. I had to pack my stuff. I had to make a poster because I've been to the Today Show, and they usually, like, you know, if you bring a poster, you'll be on TV and stuff. So I was just so happy, and I just couldn't believe my ears. We were gonna be driven down on a coach bus. I had to meet at a local radio station at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was just so cool because I was on a bus full of believers. There wasn't many of us, but when we did get there, they did give away a lot of passes, which kinda sucked because here you're thinking that you won such a awesome prize, but then they give it away to so many people that it kind of makes it not as special. But of course, I would have never went if it wasn't for my mom's coworker. So I'm very thankful that she gave that to us. She knows I'm such a huge fan, and it was just so memorable. It also rained that day, so everyone was in ponchos and had umbrellas, and everyone had their phones up because they couldn't see. And I have clips and stuff that I'll put in, and that's the best one I could get because literally I'm like going back and forth because everyone's phones up and they brought selfie sticks and all of the above, and it was just very wet, rainy, cranky. Um, and afterwards, I did have to go back to school, and I had class that day. So I slept like a baby on the way to my school because I barely slept the night before because I was so excited. Um, but it was definitely worth all of it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Family and my friends are so supportive of all my crazy adventures. I couldn't do any of this without them. They drive me places. They um, just surprise me with nice, thoughtful things. I couldn't ask for a better family or better fandom, and that is why I wanted to make this video just to show you. Even though I've seen him this many times, um, it just pushes me to keep seeing him and to finally get that meet and greet the way I've imagined all these years. And I believe it will happen. And I hope this video encouraged you guys to keep going after your dreams, even if it takes years and years, or months, or days, or seconds, whatever it is. Just don't give up. Never say never. Believe and have a purpose. And that's all my idol has ever taught me. And this is why I've been a believer since 2009. So I really hope you enjoyed this. I enjoy sharing my story to you guys. I know it's very long. I'm scared to see the total of this. I still have to put it all together, post it for you guys, and I promise, tomorrow will be fun. 4th of July, like I said, and the next couple days will continue to be more interactive, like I said. And then it gets closer to the show, so of course I'm going to be talking and more about that show specifically, but I just wanted to go through my timeline of being a believer. And I love looking back at old memories because it just makes it that much more enjoyable. And I see how far I've came and how far I'm going, and I hope you tune in tomorrow and for the rest of the countdown. 15 days to go, so I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye!